So I got an artist residency / exhibition with the ACAA, Allegheny County Airport Authority, and Pittsburgh International Airport Art. I believe I previously talked about this in one of my past videos, roughly about it. I didn't say the name of who it was. I wanted to leave it as a surprise. So I'm gonna be talking about that opportunity that I got, how I went about getting it. And it was exciting because it was almost unexpected. Have you ever applied to something, you forgot about it, and then later on it pops back up? That was very similar with this, where I'm in this artist group on Instagram, and there's this one artist in the group. She lists off different opportunities for artists, which is amazing. And I seen this one. So I clicked on it, applied for it, forgot about it. I got an email later about the opportunity of being able to be a part of this. At first, it didn't start off as a residency. It started off more so as a exhibition, more so smaller. And it was 4 pieces that I was planning on doing, but then we moved that up to 8 pieces and made the artist exhibition turn into a residency. And so now it's a little longer, which is more awesome. And it's going to be up throughout this year of 2023, which is exciting. And so I simply want to talk about that and sharing your work, being able to share your work as well, and how that felt for me. One way that felt for me, it was exciting when you get that email out of nowhere, and especially when things seem as though not much is going on. Those are the best when you get those emails or messages saying, hey, we're interested in your work. Would you like to show it here? Or we would like to purchase your work. Those are the most exciting sometimes. So it was very similar moment to that, where it wasn't too much going on at the time, and I got the email of the interest in being a part of Pittsburgh International Airport Art, and so I was very excited about it. And I haven't done an artist residency before, so this will be my first artist residency. And the person there who I got to meet, I believe it's the art director who curates the art within the airport, who's in charge of what art comes into the airport and what art goes out. And so it was my first time working with, I believe, a company this big, organization this big, the Pittsburgh International Airport, a place where many people walk through a day and travel from all throughout the states. So it was big. And I'm assuming like anyone else would be nervous to meet the person and even talk about this. So the person is great. He's a great guy. And we went through the airport. He showed me different kind of art within the airport. So the Pittsburgh International Airport, the design of the airport was more so geared towards one of the very first mall airports in a way. I'm not sure if that's the best way to say it, but that's pretty much what it is. It's a mall airport. When you walk through there, there's stores everywhere, including Chick-fil-A if you're a Chick-fil-A fan like me. So being able to display my art in such a large area is exciting by itself. And so taking on this challenge, I'm excited for it. And I think it's great to be able to share your work and to put it out there, because if I looked at the simple fact that this is a large organization, maybe they already have an artist who's amazing working on something with them. So almost doubting myself. If I already doubted myself before I even applied to this, I would probably never got the opportunity to work with the Pittsburgh International Airport in ACAA. So I think it's good to not only spread out your eggs in different baskets. I think that's fantastic to do that. There's this thing that Kobe Bryant said. I heard someone say Kobe Bryant say, he was talking about the saying, well, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And his response to that was, well, why don't you just buy more eggs? So I think it's great to definitely spread your eggs out and drop them in different opportunities, drop them in different baskets. And this basket right here, this opportunity is one of those baskets that I put my eggs in, and it hatched. It's currently hatching right now as we speak. So it's something I'm currently working on. And so the aspect of sharing your work is important. I was thinking to myself, everyone's a great artist in their basement. And this has to do with, even though someone's amazing artist may be a great artist, your skills may be amazing, your creativity may be top notch, if you're not sharing your work, no one knows that. Also, if you're not sharing your work, you don't know that really. You don't really know the response that people are gonna have on your work. It's very similar to music. There are a lot of music artists out there that are amazing, especially when you watch something similar to American Idol or America's Got Talent. You see these amazing musicians and you're thinking to yourself, where did they come from? Why have we never heard their voice before? So now they're sharing their gift, and so now we're able to see that. So sharing your work is very important, and ways to I share my work is in different sources that I use. It's festivals, art shows. I'm not doing too much of that right now, and especially because it's cold outside and the summer's coming back up. So I'm definitely keeping those in mind. But art festivals, there's a website called artfestival.com that you can look up that shows you a bunch of different art festivals, I believe within your area, and art shows and whatnot. Or Zapplication is another one that has a ton of different art shows across the states, really. Denver, Colorado, Florida, I'm pretty sure. So a bunch of different art shows in different kind of states if you're looking to travel with your art as well. Artist groups, similar to the one I mentioned earlier, Instagram. I'm in the artist group, and I was able to see this opportunity through that artist group, or else I wouldn't have seen it at all. Thanks to the person that shared it. Another one is social media. Everyone knows this one. Sharing your work on social media. And there's a lot of pressure with the consistency of it. I wouldn't say don't pressure yourself too much with it. I believe that freezes us up. Is seeing others being very consistent on social media, and we immediately think to ourselves that we cannot do that. So we don't do anything at all. So make the decision to post something, whatever that be, only 3 times a week. At least you're sharing something so some people can see your work. Some people can see what you're capable of. I recently got another opportunity, I believe, because they may have seen my stuff on social media, but then they went into my website and they were able to see the previous work I've done within commissions that are more so focused on murals, but also mainly focused on company work, working with companies and organizations. They've seen that. And so I recently got another opportunity in that way, which is amazing. And so another one is word of mouth. We forget about word of mouth so much because we're so focused on social media that we forget word of mouth. I work with Patagonia on a mural. And the way I got this was I was at an event with Yeti and Public Lands working on a mural for them. And Patagonia came up to me and asked if I wanted to do a mural for them. So that word of mouth goes a long way. So don't forget about the word. Even if you're working a 9-to-5, right? You're working as a server, talking to people and telling them, they ask you, hey, what do you do? Because a lot of times that does happen. I actually work as a server now part-time. And they'll ask you, what do you do? And I'll give them, that's the opportunity for you to share what you do. Oftentimes, they would like to see your work. So they'll ask you, hey, can I see your work? Oh yeah, absolutely. So you go ahead and take a moment when you get a chance to show them your work. So even if you're working 9-to-5 somewhere, those relationships are something to look into, to not simply go to your 9 to 5 and only look at it as you're getting a check, because then you'll miss the many blessings and opportunities within that opportunity that you have, the learning moments as well. So word of mouth, walking around just simply chatting with people and finding opportunities to share your work within the conversation. Collaboration is another one. Collab with other artists, collab with companies as well. Maybe they reach out to you and they want you to do work that is using their product. So collaborations as well. Or they want you to make a post that advertises their product. And to keep in mind, when you do this, I would make sure that it's something that you actually like, right? It's something that you are interested in. It's something that you would actually use, and not simply reviewing a product simply because they're paying you. That's also helpful as well. And that builds a relationship, that builds trust with your community, that builds trust with your target audience. And another one for sharing your work is reaching out. Reach out to those companies, organizations. Maybe go to a neighborhood where there's a lot of stores, and let's say you do mural work. Going into the stores and talking to the people who work there. Hey, I noticed that you guys have a window, or you guys have a wall that's empty that may need something on it. I think it would look nice if my artwork was on your wall. And just sharing your work with them. Give them your business card or give them your Instagram, and they'll keep you in mind for the future. Maybe message you in the future and say, hey, I remember you stopped in. We're definitely looking to do something on our wall. So reaching out, and that also blends in with word of mouth. Another thing to keep in mind when sharing your work is you're now opening to the door for criticism. And to keep that in mind, because you're going to receive some sort of feedback that is going to be negative in some way. Maybe, hopefully a lot of positive feedback, but also be prepared for the negative and how to respond to it. And the quote unquote advice that people give that they think is for you, but is really for them. To know how to respond to that, really. And I find myself sometimes I'll post something and someone will have a comment on, you should do this. Never have spoken to them in your life and they're telling you something that you should do. We automatically respond defensively. I do not blame myself. I do not blame anybody who does. So way for our response to that is, I will keep that in mind. That's how I respond. That doesn't mean I want to do what they said. That doesn't mean I'm disrespecting or disagreeing with them. That simply means, hey, I want to keep that thought in mind. And also, when you do receive the positive, to not put too much weight on that. Because if you put so much weight on the positive comments and compliments when you do share your work, when those negative comments do come in, you're going to put a lot of weight on those too. And those may tear you down. One negative comment may tear you down more than 50 positive comments. So keep that in mind too, that you're not opening the doors for that. And that's totally okay if people have negative comments to say, then now that slims down your target audience. So sharing your work opens the door for positive and negative feedback. But that's okay too, because the negative feedback can help you grow. It can help you take different tips and ideas and see constructive criticism and see deconstructive criticism as well. I think another important part about sharing your work is not only for others, but also for yourself. When you share your work, you may be helping someone else out. When you share your work, you may be inspiring other artists, or maybe your work means something in the painting that you painted, and someone may take some away from that helps them in their personal life. Being able to share your work can also help you grow confidence in the craft and what it is that you do. Also, being able to block out what people may think and and putting out art that you want to see in the world. So when we think about sharing our work, we usually think about the word sharing in a sense of it's for somebody else, but in fact it's also for yourself. So keep that in mind. Sharing your work is not only for someone else, but is also for yourself. So make the art and change that you want to see in the world. I'll see you next time.